So welcome, we're here today to talk about robot football. I'm here with Matt Mead, who is Chelsea Football Club Foundation Education Manager, is that right, Matt?
Head of Education at Chelsea Foundation. Close enough.
Brilliant, thank you, Matt. So Matt and I have been working on a project. We've been designing and trying to implement a game for young kids as part of the Premier League Primary Stars.
Yes, Premier League Primary Stars is our new schools-based programme, delivered in every football team up and down the UK. But for Chelsea, we have our own version, which we want to take down a bit of a tech and STEM-related route, and the creation of the Digital Blue programme, which is partly design, engineering, STEM with Autodesk, but then 3 follow-up sessions all about robot football with solutions. So we're very excited about that.
So let's talk a little bit about exactly what robot football is. What we have in front, people, is a robot football pitch. Now, this is actually made of lino, kind of stuff you find on your kitchen floor. As such, it gives a soft play area. It gives us a consistent play area. And as you can see, it kind of, it's marked out like a football pitch. And we have designated zones in which to pass the ball to. So Matt and I and a team of people did a preliminary play last week. And how did that go, Matt?
I think it was fantastic. I think for me, I could see what was going to happen. I could see it would be fun for my guys who are traditional football people, love football, love education, coach the game, very good coaches, starting to talk about coding and technology. It provided some level of anxiety, but I think seeing it, getting their hands dirty, playing it, eliminated all that fear, and they all loved it. So controlled with the iPad, the Sphero, within minutes they were, I think, very comfortable with what was going on and look forward to delivering it going forward.
Well, the kids did seem really excited to me. Everybody sort of was really sort of up for what we were doing, and they really took to it quickly. I don't think any young child really struggles with using an iPad, in my experience. I mean, they just seem natural users. They do love these connected devices. I don't know about you, but robots. One of the children at the very beginning of the session, I heard out the corner, they had the Sphero robot, and then this girl said, "You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," talking to a polycarbonate ball with a bunch of electronics inside.
But I think I saw that girl, and I think also when I saw Vicky on the iPad, just the basic control of lining up the sights, moving it from left to right, 180 degrees, that girl's face lit up, and you could literally, in her mind, she's thinking, what else can this thing do? I can't believe it's just done that very, very basic task. So seeing that is exactly why we're doing what we're doing. We want to give these kids that first experience that opens their mind to actually, what else could this do? What else is possible?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. So let's talk about some of what really the learning outcomes are in the game. I think the first thing is it's a team game. It's played for up to 5 students per team, and they've got to share the tactics. They've got to share their excitement and work together. So it does. I mean, that could be challenging for some kids. The sort of teamwork, sharing, collaboration part of it.
Yeah, and that's where I think football plays a fundamental role in this. Is that we are a football charity. Football is a major focus of what we do, but as you and I know, the synergies between football and technology, the arts, music, they're very closely aligned in terms of the kids working together, supporting each other, trying new things, resilience. These are all things that are kind of soft outcomes the kids don't realise they're working on, and that's why this programme is fun and it's sexy and all the great technology, but really what they're developing are skills for life that we're just using football as a vehicle to take them down that road, because it may not be as attractive if they stood out as subjects on their own right. So, lots of learning.
Well, I agree. I think the argument is we are using STEM, we are using computers. People, I think, often think of that as a very kind of insular and a distraction from other real learning. But the reality is if we can use that technology in the right way, because it's part of everyone's life moving forward, I can think it really beneficial. And I think the collaboration sharing part is very much what we want to put in from football, but I think it's very much part of a life skill. Moving on from that, let's talk a little bit about the math skill. I think that maths is one of those subjects that a lot of students kind of don't really get. They don't see the relevance of it. I never did, to be honest with you. Why do we need to know Pythagoras' theorem or angles necessarily? But it's interesting that on the pitch here, they have to control a robot to roll between designated zones to create completed passes. And this requires an understanding of heading. So that's angles from 360 degrees. It understands, or they need to understand, distance between that they're passing the ball and the speed at which it's travelling. So there's quite a lot of mathematical skills there. And actually, by learning to make dozens of passes over the course of a couple of hours, they are kind of naturally learning maths.
Well, again, it comes back to football, and it comes back to juniors playing on the Saturday through to Chelsea's first team against Manchester United this weekend. When David Luiz picks the ball up at centre-half and he's looking forward and he sees Hazard 90 degrees or 45 degrees, 10 yards forward, 10 yards further back, it's all going through their head. They're working out angles and speed and distance and how much to put on the ball, same as what we were teaching the kids through basic block coding.
It's contextual, really, isn't it? It's about taking learning and understanding how that can help you move, particularly in robot football. Obviously, it's not exactly the same as real football. It is more mathematical, coding based, but you do require, good players are going to develop a damn good understanding of basic maths here, because otherwise you cannot make 4 or 5 completed passes and score a goal if you got your angles and your distances and your speed wrong.
Yeah, we noticed that with the roll of the Sphero, even being 1 or 2 degrees off, would mean the children have to come back, they'd have to problem solve or debug in coding terms what went wrong. Was it the speed? Was it the distance? And just seeing them do that, and it's trial and error, but they'll do that 3 or 4 times, they'll get it right. And after 10, 15 minutes, they may make those 5 passes because they've debugged every movement. And they've created, I guess, a simple, a formatted code that works, and that's the problem solving we're trying to get to.
So let's finish off here, Matt, by talking about really what our aspirations are for robot football. We'd like to see one of these pitches. I think they're 3 meters by 2 meters. These pitches. We want to see one of these pitches pretty much with every Premier League club and dozens, if not hundreds, of schools playing robot football, perhaps in support of their local club, and then ready to bring that together and have a kind of robot football World Cup. We want to go to Wembley, don't we? That's the truth of the matter.
Well, I think doing it at Chelsea is a great point, and there's no disrespect to other clubs, but we are the largest charity. We're a big brand. We're current champions. I can say that probably till May, and that will be the end of that one. But it's attractive, and people want to come to Chelsea.
And you're not going to be champions this season.
I wouldn't have thought so, no. I'll tell you after we lose to Manchester United on Sunday, but doing it at Chelsea and proving that we can be the guinea pigs to make this happen, we can pioneer, which is what we do at Chelsea. We want to lead on the field and off the field. This is something that, when you break down to the learnings and educational learnings, why would a club not want to do this? Why would they not want their local kids to be inspired through technology and sport and to get attention that this club doesn't normally get? Because, maybe a West Brom or an Everton doesn't associate themselves with technology. Well, this is a chance to bring that to life for these kids to be ready for the 21st century.
Yeah, I think it's great that Chelsea is working beyond sort of basic football and physical skills. Robot football can be played by anybody. We've had people on the spectrum play. Obviously, physical disability doesn't really stop you with robot football. And we'd certainly like to see this as a game that schools continue to play at the school to develop their skills. And to be honest, it's about making learning fun, isn't it?
And I think that is one outcome we hit within minutes of starting last week. You just had to look around the room, and the joy and the images that we captured were beautiful. And that was when I went home just thrilled by what I'd seen. And and it comes back to a conversation that you and I had a while back, just an idea, but to go through to execution and see children doing that, 10, whatever it was, 12 kids, to know that hundreds will now benefit from this over the next few months at Chelsea, and the potential that thousands of kids can benefit from this, and the fact that it could even go into other sports, it could go transcend borders, go global, and millions of kids around the world could enjoy this format of coding before they go down the steps of Swift and the more advanced stuff. So, yeah, to play a role in that is a wonderful feeling.
Well, it is a stepping stone, you're right. This is the beginning of coding. Please, we don't want to sort of create the idea that we need really clever coders and people that have got a lot of computing skill. This is open pretty much, and we saw really good engagement from children with absolutely no programming or even necessarily particularly technology skills. But as we said at the beginning, students don't really struggle with using iPad, and they seem to adapt to this robot and learn it, and really, definitely want to carry on the game. So I think for now, thank you very much, Matt, for coming in and speaking to us.
No, it's been great to be here. It's not my first time at Solutions, but yeah, many years been here, and I'm always happy and willing to try new things, and this is something that I'm very proud that we've got off the ground.
Brilliant. So keep an eye out, ladies and gentlemen. Robot football is coming your way.